Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li wazira min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka kaseera wa nadhkuraka kaseera innaka kunta bina basira. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, dear friends. Inshallah, we will continue our discussion from the 28th word, which is on paradise. We were going over the verse from section Al Insan. What's the purpose of man in this life, in this world? And there were a few descriptions about what the paradise, flavor of paradise, basically, to catch our attention, to stay on the right course, how to use our human feelings, our senses, in appropriately to the way they are given to us for a purpose, so use them wisely. We talked a lot about our practical aspects in life as well, on how we should arrange and organize our life as well. We mentioned there's no retirement in the teachings of Islam. There's no holiday as well. So we always have to be aware and use our consciousness, our abilities, our conscience for the purpose that it is given to us. Right? So we'll there are a few verses left. We can continue, just go over them and see if we have any comments on them from section Al Insan. So this one was the one we studied last time, right? So people who love the present life without seeing the meaning behind it, right? They leave behind a heavy day. But before I go there, I think I took some notes which I wanted to read also. So the Quran gives physical descriptions of paradise, which we can multiply by infinity. That was one of the themes we've been seeing as we go through these verses. So in my journey in this world, in this life, I must look for the hidden qualities from the manifestation that are manifested in the physical universe. So although at the surface appearance, everything looks like a physical bodily being, but then there are hidden qualities that need to be uncovered, right? Only by uncovering those qualities do I recognize God, who is the owner of those qualities. Right? So try to remember my Lord as much as I can in my life. When in a situation of sorrow and darkness, I must always turn to my Lord. Right? So I said, okay, start by implementing small changes in our lives, which is how the Quran teaches, and the creation is also realized in that way. All right, so let's go back to this. So this fleeting world, as we realize it, yes. So don't just think that we are going to be here in this world forever, right? Be mindful of who your Lord is. And then, of course, we'll be facing a day of retribution, right? So this is how the sequence of verses has been mentioning that, okay, we gave you all the sense, we made you from a drop, we gave you all the senses. You were nothing at one point, but we gave you existence. And then we are warning you so not to misuse your abilities, your things that we have given you, all your tools, your senses. So use them properly. If you do that, then you will be among those who are going to enjoy the beauty of beautiful descriptions that have been given, right? So you get whatever you want, all the fruits whenever you desire for it, you can grab them. You'll be reclined on couches. So a lot of different things that we enjoy in this world. So physical descriptions multiplied by infinity. I'll go to the next one. So this is, before I go there, Brother Ali, please go ahead.
Physical descriptions, when we say physical descriptions, we may think that, for example, the fruits are mentioned and multiplied by the infinite fruits are mentioned, infinite fruits. We may understand it in this way, infinite fruits. But rather than the number of the fruits, by mentioning the fruits, and also the Quran also says, for example, whatever you, how do you say, desire for pleasure, whatever you, ishtiha, the word was ishtiha, whatever you, how can I translate ishtiha? Imeshtiha, I'll find out the ayah. How do they translate it? Yeah, let me see if
Oh, I updated the sentence as well. So the physical descriptions gives us pleasure, and that pleasure is multiplied by infinity.
now pleasure itself multiplied by. That's correct. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. That's enough. Yeah.
Yep. So, Faria, your question is right now, or pleasure? What pleasure? Whatever you enjoy in this life. So we only enjoy for that moment of time, right? So yesterday's pleasure is gone for me, but I want it continuous. So that's why we need the infinite pleasure in that sense. Okay. All right. So we'll continue with نحن خلقناهم وشددنا أسراهم وإذا شئنا بدلنا أمثالهم تبديلا, which is, it is we who created them and perfected their physical form. But if we will, we can easily replace them with others. So we who have created them and strengthened their make. So given them existence in their whatever form they are in. And then we can easily replace them with others. So building upon the previous verse of those who are unmindful of God and only focus on this life of this world are heedless of that there'll be a day of retribution, right? And it is we who created them, their whatever form. So they don't recognize. So if one either recognizes or doesn't recognize that we are created beings. So this is like, again, reminding us that I should recognize that I'm a created being, whoever is giving me existence at this moment. So if I don't follow whatever my existence is for, then I'm wasting myself, my life. Right? So it's like a favor that is given to me by existing here. I'm favored in a way. So I
Of course,
appreciate.
I'm sorry. Of course, God is not really challenging here, saying that we can just replace you. Who are you? No. When you read the Quran, we have to understand that the method of the Quran is first God introduces himself, what he can do, his power can encompass. He can do this. But telling me this is not a threat. Now you have to understand that you can be taken away anytime because you cannot sustain your being in this world. You have to notice that it is not you who is sustaining your existence, but I am sustaining it. This is not challenging human beings, threatening human beings. I think clear, isn't it? That's what how we should read the Quran. For example, all believers, Quran says, Ya eyyühellezine amenu ittakullaha vebtegu vesilete ila ahiril ayet. Şimdi bunu, what does it mean? Uh, uh, they translate it in a strange way, but be conscious of God. Now, it is not a command. Now, what is expected of you is to be conscious of who your creator is. Use this ability that I have given to you. So we have to read it to me as a guide, for me as a guide. For example, when Quran says, İnna Allah ala kulli şeyin kadir. Translation, God is powerful enough to create, to choose all over all everything. Now that is fine. Why is he telling me this? Look in the existence of everything, you will see that manifestation of the Creator's power is there. So look for it, you will see it. Is the method clear?
Yes, it's an interesting method. So it's not a command, as you said, right? And not something challenging in a way that challenges human being who's reading it. So,
We read, for example, Ekim Salah,
right. It's not
uh,
a command.
form your prayer. Be constant in your prayer. It means different meanings. So establish your prayer in your community. For example, they are all Ekim Salah, meaning of Ekim. So what does it mean? Allah commanded us to pray. No. I created you with the need of prayer. So you need to establish prayer in your life. That is how you are created in need of this establishment. Find out and do, it is requirement. It is not a command. It is reminding me that how I need salah to perform my prayer. That is why the Jewish people, rabbis, of course, not ordinary people, the scholars, Jewish scholars, turned the Torah as book of commandments. Torah means rules, commandments. In Islamic terms, fiqh book for Jews. That is how they took it. We have to be very careful. We shouldn't turn the Quran into the book of commandments. That is what Quran blames the rabbis to misrepresent Torah. And he tells us they distorted the purpose of Torah. What does it mean? You shouldn't distort the purpose of the Quran. So We shouldn't turn the Quran as the book of commandments. What? It is a reminder. It doesn't, Quran never ever describes itself as the Kitab Awamir, commandments. It describes itself, it is a book of guidance, it is a book of reminder, it is a book of truth, haq, truth, never commandments. If we turn the Quran as books of commander, it means we have been doing to the Quran what the Jewish people did to Torah. These are very important matters that we have to realize, inshallah.
Inshallah. So like the worst translation I remember, like God commands you sacrifice a cow, for example, right?
For example,
Yeah.
you need to sacrifice what you idolized. These people, these people idolized the means of provision, which is cow in Egypt, in the Nile Delta, Nile Delta. Only through the ox, they could do the farming. So they turned ox as a sacred being. Now we have to ask us, what is our ox? I have to sacrifice it, because I should sacrifice doesn't mean that kill it. No, leave your job or resign from your job. No, no, no. Don't idolize it. Don't think that it is the provision provider. God is providing your needs provision. But when you go to the job, don't think that it is my source of rizq, source of provision. It is a means of provision provided by God. So we have to, if it is idolized, we have to slaughter it. That's why Nursi interprets this verse. I think we read it in this series, didn't we? So ask the people, oh, we commanded that we commanded the children of Israel.
Yeah, I think we discussed it at another point, yes. At some
Yeah, and we commanded them to slaughter it. They hesitated, started asking questions. Which kind of cow is it? So, do I, for example, slaughter your job? You are doing something, and you start saying, "Oh, how can I do it? I mean, shall I reduce the hours? No, or days? Or shall I go late?" Asking these kind of questions rather than trying to understand that you shouldn't idolize it. Got it?
got it. So that
Yeah.
is also
If
a reminder.
really, if you read the Quran like this, you will understand that how compassionate our Creator is for us. Unbelievable.
Okay, so there's a comment about the slaughtering of the idols, that which you have idolized, the slaughter done through for asking for forgiveness, astaghfirullah.
Oh, I mean, astaghfirullah is the result of belief. That is correct, but it is the result, not how that I have to do something. What I have to do, I should not I have to do my job, whatever it is, whatever I am doing, as far as my profession is concerned. But I shouldn't think that this one is the source of my rizq. But this is the means of rizq. God has given to me. Every day when you go to the job, thank God. Alhamdulillah, you gave me this means. I am using it. Try to utilize it in order to turn it into worship. It means make it as a means of realizing something else. So Nursi gives simple examples. When you are practicing medicine, he gives an example. You are practicing the manifestations of name of healer. For example, when you are practicing, let's say you are an architect or engineer, you are uh, experiencing the manifestation of El Muwazzin. الوزن ووضع الميزان ميزان it means how everything is perfectly created in with a perfect measurement. Try to see it from this perspective. If you are doing farming, it is much easier, definitely. Depending on, for example, taxi driver, it's nothing wrong with it. All Muslims are taxi drivers in Manhattan, so almost. Anyways, the best profession for Muslim population here in New York. So, taxi driver. While you are serving human beings, as nurses spoke to a doctor, said, "You are a doctor, yes. So you are serving life. Life is a very sacred being, creation. So you are serving the most sacred creation. Congratulated, but try to understand how life is precious. That is how precious the uh, mercy of God, bounty of God, favor of God for us. See the sick people come to you, realize that how needy human beings are, how much they love life. So precious for everyone. And health is really impossible to appreciate how valuable uh, nime or bounty of God, grace of God, health, life. So try to see the manifestations of the names of God and what we need in this world, how needy we are. These are all the signs that how we should utilize. For example, علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. That is the verse. God has teaching what human beings are in need of to learn, in need of learning. So look, I am a teacher, so I'm teaching the students on. Look, they need to be educated. So the Prophet ﷺ educated people how much we need a good teacher. So I am going to be a teacher in order to experience the value of the prophethood. So I should benefit from the prophet like I am teaching others and they should benefit from me. Every teacher wants his or her students to learn from it. Am I learning from the prophet? Huh? I am a good student of the prophet. For example, these are just simple examples. Now, Nursi uses this kind of simple examples, how to turn the commandments of the Creator into not a commandment, but what teaching me what I need to do. here. And also slaughtering the cow. That was our last subject. So how can I slaughter my profession to become a means of worship? It doesn't mean that I should resign it, but how can I do it? Inshallah. Inshallah. I mean, this method makes the Quran very, very a precious source of guidance for us. And I feel that when I read the Quran with these principles or through using these principles, Quran becomes my protector. Now, without Quran, my life will have no meaning at all. That's what I feel now. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. Okay. Any other comments by anyone, or we should continue? So this is like an invitation or teaching, inshallah.
About the verses, would you like me to share?
Sure, inshallah.
Now, why the Quran it gives the physical descriptions. Let me see. This one, replace. Huh? All right. Look,
Yes, replace, please. No.
yeah. Now, let me see. Not this one. No. وَيَجْعَلُونَ لِلَّهِ بَنَاتٍ. No, no, not this one. Now, Bismillah. وَأَمْدَدْنَاهُمْ بِفَاكِهَةٍ وَلَحْمٍ مِمَّا يَشْتَهُونَ. In paradise, we provided them with any fruit or meat that they desire. يَشْتَهُونَ. Desire, you know what the desire is? يَشْتَهُونَ, stronger than desire. They yearn to have it, to satisfy themselves. But, I mean, that is what desire. وَلَحْمِ طَيْرٍ مِمَّا يَشْتَهُونَ. Again, and the meat of any bird, they desire, they like. Let me see, is there anything here to pay attention? Yeah, joys of paradise. There are lots of other verses as well, the famous hadith. Yeah. Okay, that's good. وَفَوَاكِهَ مِمَّا يَشْتَهُونَ. That is again in the another verse. Physical descriptions, maybe we may read it. Inshallah. No, are we going to? No, it is another mursalat, not an insan. When and any fruit they desire. It means mentioning about lahm tayr means the meat of birds. Meat, maybe the best meat. That's why I don't know, but fruits and meat are mentioned here, but the point is not the fruit. Point is not lahm. Mimma yashtahun, which what is no. Let's see this one. Mimma. Now here, Esad's translation more precise always. And we shall bestow on them fruit and meat in abundance. Whatever, look, not only this one, whatever they may desire. The point is desire, not the meat, not the fruit. So description of those palaces underneath water runs and trees, etc., descriptions of paradise, these are not the problem. These are not the thing. These are the symbols of what we really desire. Do you understand? That is why physical descriptions should not be taken as physical descriptions, but what our spiritual capacity requires to satisfy itself. These are just examples, but as the Quran says, mimma yashtahun. Again, here is the mimma. Mimma yashtahun means lahmi tayrin, for example, the meat of any bird, okay, but mimma yashtahun. From among what? Then why don't you translate it? With the flesh of any of flows that they may desire. From among whatever you desire. Min ma yashtaun. Ma is whatever. Min from whatever you desire. That is interesting. Mimma yashtaun. Anyways, not really. Oh, it's too much, but that is interesting. Why they don't translate exactly what the Quran says? What was it?
The mimma part you said adds more, not just whatever is the physical description that's given, right? But
So min now emphasizes on not the fruit example. Whatever you desire, mat. 56, wasn't it? Let me see if we can find somebody somehow. Uh, 21, 56, 21, 56, 21. All right, let's say these are no good. They may. Oh, wow. That's Kamal Amor. Yeah, but for example, look, and the flesh of bird out of what? Which? My God. Uh, yeah, Kamar. Where was it? When I hurry, I panic. No. No, this one.
yeah.
And the flesh of this one, this, and the flesh of bird out of that which they crave for. That is what the Quran is saying. Out of which. It means this one, Munir Manshay also. And the flesh of birds, and fowl, whichever they fancy. Do you understand? Muhammad, Muhammad Sahih Internet. The meal of fowl from whatever they desire. You see, the point was satisfaction of desire. Abu Majid, also the same. And flesh of fowls from the birds from that which they desire. I think the case is clear, yeah? We shouldn't lose ourselves in the physical description of paradise and hell as well, just to oppose it. We cannot say that in hell the people will be burned by fire. That's the wrong way of understanding the Quran. But opposite of desire, craving for, what is that opposite of desire? Whatever you hate to be in the position. That is too much, but inshallah, we need to learn how to read the Quran. Inshallah, that's very essential.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Okay, so let's go to the next verse, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا. Surely this is a reminder, so let whoever wills take the right way to their Lord. Sabila, basically on recognizing your Lord, not diverted from the things in themselves, but bypass the means and to the Lord. All right. Any comment on this one? So this is what it's saying. Even the commandment or whatever the challenge the previous verse may seem, but it clarifies it here that surely this is a reminder. Inna hazihi taskira.
Not commandments.
These are the commandments that we give you. No, taskira. Beautiful. I mean, I like this. Inshallah. All right. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيمًا حَكِيمًا. But you cannot will to do so unless God wills. Indeed, God is all knowing, all wise.
Asim or anybody else, but since you are the moderator, try to understand this verse. Read it, before I mentioned, when the Quran must be read so carefully that, especially the end of the paragraph, end of the paragraph that is technically called fezleke. End of the paragraph is the criterion to understand the whole paragraph. Did I make sense?
Right. So yesterday we discussed the beginning and the end of the section, right?
No. Use the end of the paragraph in the Quran. This is the end of the paragraph now.
Right.
Here, although not the section, no, end of the paragraph.
I
The
see.
subject is mentioned and it ends with
Uh-huh.
Inna Allaha kana aliman hakima here.
Right.
So use this end of the paragraph as your criterion and read the beginning, understand the beginning of the verse now. Try to do that.
I see. So, yep. So this is like the conclusion. You cannot will it unless you align your free will with the will of God. God is knowing and wise. This is talking about, and unless God wills, for behold, God is indeed all seeing, all wise.
Now,
So
end of the paragraph is the last sentence of the paragraph, which means
there's one more, right?
God is knowing, God is knowing, and well, no, it's not. Okay. Uh, Inna Allah kana aliman hakima. God is knowing and wise. Now, take God is knowing and wise, this phrase here, conclusion phrase, and understand the beginning of the phrase now, of verse, beginning of verse.
Okay.
Now,
So take this part.
yeah,
God, yeah, indeed, God is knowing, all wise.
now, okay,
Now this part which says to be on the right path in the right وَمَن
no,
تشاء
no, yeah, yeah, yeah, but yet you cannot will it
you align your free will.
unless no, no, no, no, no. He's an interpretation, but you cannot will it unless God wills.
Right. You cannot will it unless God wills.
And that's a good comment is to show you that way. Yeah. So, but I cannot will anything. I cannot use my free will. unless God wills. So, what shall I do with my free will then? Right? Because God is the one who decides. What does it mean? I should use my free will.
But the free will cannot create. That's the thing.
No, here.
Right.
Willing. Yeah, I mean, I cannot will. I cannot use my free will
Hmm.
unless God wills. God chooses it. Understood? What does it mean then?
Unless the pres
Some people understood, said, yes, some great scholars in the past, of course, they were just trying to understand what the reality of the message of the Quran is. So we don't blame them. But some scholars, great scholars, said, you cannot choose. You think, you imagine, you fancy that you are choosing. In fact, God is choosing. Why? Here it is. You cannot will to do anything, to choose anything. You cannot use your free will unless God wills. But read, read. Indeed, Allah is all knowing, all wise. Now, but Muhammad Asad said, God is indeed all seeing, wise. Why seeing? Knowing, right? So we have to understand God wills it knowingly, wisely. It means knowingly. Let's read the verse from the beginning now. You cannot will, you cannot use your free will unless God knowingly wills what you have according to what you have chosen. Because He knows. So you have chosen this, God creates the result as you have chosen it. So God follows your free will because He knows what you are going to choose. Otherwise, if you have chosen another one, God would create accordingly because He knows what you are going to choose before you did. Do you remember when we studied the section Qadar, divine determining?
Yes.
Now, why Nursi interpreted it God's will, God's choice follows human free choice? We said it looks strange. God's will, and in front of me, sorry, in front of God's will, I am. I choose, God creates according to my choice because He knows what I am going to choose. And also, God is not only knowing, all knowing one, but all wise one as well. Wise. Why? When you choose something, God creates the result in a way that full of wisdom. Wisdom to choose what is best for you. So you want to choose. You are free to choose. God knows what you have chosen. He creates accordingly, but He creates in such a way, such a wise way that you can benefit out of this creation as far as your purpose of existence is concerned. So God says, I am the one who, as you said, awesome. I am the one uh, organizing this universe. You are the one choosing among my organization. You are free to choose it, but you cannot create it because I am the one who creates the universe. with this organization, you are just obeying my organization. I am creating the result. But how I created it, according to your choice. So if you have chosen this way, I would create it that way. But it is not unwise creation. It is wisely designed, the whole universe. So when we look at this last piece, indeed Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. So God says, for the previous statement must be understood with the criterion of my infinite knowledge and infinite wisdom. Other verses says infinite mercy. I organized the word in this way as a result of my infinite wisdom, infinite mercy. And I created the result according to my knowledge of your free choice. Did you know? Is it clear now, inshallah?
Yep, inshallah. Yeah.
This is the way how we should read the Quran. MashaAllah, I'm very grateful to Risale-i Nur. I learned from the Risale-i Nur. Nursi reads the Quran like this. I
Mm.
learned this from him. Well, let me make a big claim. As far as I am concerned, as far as my knowledge and information is concerned, I haven't seen anyone reading in this way. It's not, I am a unique man, but really Nursi's methodology is a unique methodology. As far as my capacity of knowledge, well, I mean, compared to huge Islamic heritage, is nothing, even not a dot. But I am responsible for my capacity. So these are very precious methods that we are learning from the Risale-i, how to read the Quran.
Inshallah, yes. For yes, which is the way the Quran should be read, inshallah. Right, so you cannot will it, whatever you're choosing, unless it's in the knowledge God will, the knowledgeable God wills, right? And
You are, no, you cannot will unless God wills. God wills means God wills according to
that, that's right.
knowing that what you have done, knowing that what you have chosen.
Right, it follows my free choice, my will, right?
Yeah, he knows everything, including your free choice.
Correct.
Out of time. We cannot say before. No, with no time limit.
With no
Because
time limit and truth.
show the Arabic version of it. Look at this. İnna Allah kana alimen hakimen. No. Alimen hakimen. This form indicates like Rahman and Rahim, Alim, Hakim. This form means infinitely. God is infinitely knowing one. God is infinitely wise one. We call it in our Islam from within the, discussions, absolute knowledge, absolute wisdom. And why? The Quran says so. Alim. It says alim. Oh, well, that is why people say, God is knowing. For example, Safi Kafka says God is knowing. No, God is knowing means Inna Allah kana aliman, not aliman. But this one is better. Come up a little bit. Now, alim, all-knowing. That is much better. So indeed, all-seeing, he realized, translated it. I don't know why. Without seeing that alim doesn't mean seeing. Basir is seeing. And also all-wise is better. All-wise is better than, or infinitely wise, absolutely wise. But all-wise has the same flavor of meaning. Yeah.
MashaAllah. It's very good. Okay, let's go to the next one. So, يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما. He admits whoever he wills into his mercy. As for the wrongdoers, he has prepared for them a painful punishment.
That is another principle in the Quran. Inna Allah la yahdil qawm al-zalimin. Now, keep this Arabic word. وَالظَّالِمِينَ أَعَدَّ لَهُمْ عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. Now, in a simple Arabic, God says, أنا أعدت له أعدت الظالمين عذابا أليما. It means I prepared I prepared a painful punishment for zalimin. But what Quran says, it doesn't say I prepared for them painful punishment, right? For wrongdoers, however it's translated, zalim, for wrongdoers. Now, but the Quran says, يُدْخِلُ مَن يَشَاءُ فِي رَحْمَتِهِ. He admits whom he wills into his mercy, but he doesn't do it arbitrarily. He prepares the painful punishment, but when it comes to the zalimin, because zalimin is taken into the beginning, it should be at the end, but it is entered. But you know what? Where means this. But pay attention to this. For the zalim, for the wrongdoers, I prepared for them punishment, painful punishment. It means I don't give punishment to people who are not wrongdoers. So let's understand the beginning. يُدْخِلُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ فِي رَحْمَتِهِ. Which means he admits whom he wills. Or go up a little bit, what others will say. He admits whoever, yeah, it is better, whoever. He admits whoever he wills into his mercy. It looks like arbitrary, but he doesn't say here, but for the wrongdoers, but when it comes to the wrongdoers, he has prepared for them a painful punishment. If they were not wrongdoers, there would be no painful punishment. So painful punishment is delivered to those people because they were wrongdoers. Did you get it? Because they were wrongdoers.
It's not arbitrarily done.
La yehdil kavme zalimin. God never gives guidance, hidayah, guidance, not as he wants, no. Kavme zalimin, wrongdoer people. If they were not wrongdoers, there would be no, they would deserve guidance. Because they were wrongdoers, it is because they were wrongdoers, that is why adab is the result. Painful punishment is the result. Because they were good people, not wrongdoers, that is why guidance given to them. Do you understand? God is not deciding about human behavior arbitrarily. The Quran says so. But if you read it like robot reading or machine reading, you wouldn't get it. Is it clear? Shall I stop?
So it's out of a consequence, basically, right? For example, a teacher teaches, and some students would do good in the test, for example. So they're, by a consequence of their doing good in the test, they get the A grade, versus those who didn't study and they fail, they get the punishment in that sense.
For example, a teacher comes here to the class and declares that's an essential matter, very important matter. Declares that at the beginning of the class, says, in this class, the only authority is me. Everybody has to follow my instructions. Right? In the Quran, God says, all the universe is my property. All the order of the universe, the way it is created, is my decision. The universe exists because I prefer to exist. I preferred it to exist. That is the declaration. Is that correct? Correct. Look at the universe. It says, I am the result of the choice of my creator. Are you fine now? So far?
Yes.
Now, teacher said, I am the authority in this class. Right? No one has any right in share my authority. Only me. Final decision is on me. And at the end, there is a test. Results are distributed. And some people failed. Some people succeed. What happened? God, the teacher decided. Only authority. Can you say this?
Yep. So
No.
then he's the authority.
Now, when it comes to human free will, student free will,
Mhm.
he gives the result, grade according to what you have done, what they have done. First declaration is, I am the one to have the only authority in the class. So the results of the exam, the grades, are given by the authority according to not his own will, gives it as a result of his will, because he established the system like this, according to the success of the students. Do you understand?
Right. Yes. So whatever the students did according to that.
Now, but put it in the frame, because this system is established by the teacher. Do you understand? So the students will get the grades according to their success or failure. This system is established by the teacher. So only authority is the teacher, and this teacher, this authority established the system in such a way that every student will get his desire, his grade according to his success. Did you understand?
Yes.
We are free within the already established universe.
Hmm.
We choose only from among the already established universe. When I do something, this is the sunnatullah. If I am wrongdoers, as it is mentioned here in this verse, I will desire punishment, severe punishment. If I am successful, I will desire,
Desire or deserve?
no, I will deserve. Thank you, deserve. I will deserve according to my not being wrongdoer. It means right doer.
Got it.
You understand? But this system is established by the creator of the universe. My free will is given by whom? Did I get my free will freely?
Yep, freely given.
Freely given, but did I get it? I'm going to have free will. I'm not going to have free will.
No, no choice, no option.
No, no. I am given free will by my creator. So I cannot deny it. Even I deny it, I will deny it with my free will. Still use my free will. I cannot get out of it. By denying God, I cannot get out of my free will. He has given to me. I am still using what God has given to me. So when you read the Quran with this understanding, with this methodology, you understand that he admits whom he wills, or he admits whoever he wills into his mercy. I am not receiving God's mercy because it is his choice. Nothing, it has nothing to do with me. No, it is not the way the Quran should be read. Read the following. As for the wrongdoers, look, wrongdoers, he has provided for them a painful punishment. The best example is İnna Allah la yehdi kavme zalimin. No.
Are you looking for that verse?
No, yeah, it is very obvious, very obvious. Ah, İnna Allah la yehdi, İnna Allah la tehdi. No. İnşallah. Zalim.
Anybody else found it?
No, why?
Inna Allah, you said.
Yeah, kavme ezzalimin. Let's say.
Oh,
İnşallah. Allah Allah. Hum la yuzlemun. Subhanallah. Am I remembering it wrongly? Subhanallah. Why? لا والله لا يهدي قوم الظالمين. والله لا يهدي قوم الظالمين. إن الله لا يهدي قوم. Now, can I share it? Sorry, time is up, but it is very important. I think you found it as well.
No, go ahead. You can share it.
Now, all right. Uh, I found many.
Okay.
Now, here. Now, look at this. Wallahu, I'm pointing out, right? Wallahu la yehdi
Mhm.
el-qawm al-zalimin. Right?
Yes.
Now, what the verse we read? يدخل يدخل من يشاء في رحمته. The same thing. رحمته لا يهدي قوم الظالمين. God never guide whom قوم الظالمين, wrongdoer people. God doesn't guide people who deliberately do wrong. Now, والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Now, كيف يهدي الله قوما كفروا بعد إيمانهم. Now, let me read the translation, or you will read it. How will Allah guide a people who choose to disbelieve? Look at these verses. After they had believed, choose to disbelieve. Acknowledged the messenger to be true. After they had believed, acknowledged the messenger to be truth, and then they disbelieve and received clear proof. Look, they acknowledged the messenger, they believed, they acknowledged the messenger, and they received clear proof. Clear proof. وَجَاءَهُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. Yes, all these blessings are with them, and they disbelieve now. For as a result, God doesn't guide the wrongdoing people. Where is God's free, arbitrary decision? Where is it? God doesn't guide the wrongdoing people. Isn't that clear?
MashaAllah, yes.
Yeah. So,
The result of the disbelief takes you to the.
yeah, it's out of their disbelief. Here it is again the same thing. And to save time, let's read. All believers take neither Jews or not Christians uh, as guardians, allies, guardians. Yeah, allies is better here, Evliya. Now, they are, what this Khattab is very traditionalist. So, you have believed, or you have believed. Don't take the Jews and Christians as allies. They are allies only to each other. Anyone who takes them as an ally becomes one of them. So it chooses the ally means they follow their path, their way. So if you follow Jews and Christians, God is reminding us this is the Jewish tradition, Christian theology, Jewish theology. If you don't follow them, God doesn't guide such wrongdoers. No, it is better here. Surely surely Allah doesn't guide the wrongdoing people. Look, it is obvious, isn't it?
Yep, as a result.
Arbitrary guidance. So in other, let's say, قُلْ أَرَأَيْتَكُمْ إِنْ أَتَاكُمْ عَذَابُ اللَّهِ بَغْتَةً أَوْ جَهْرَةً هَلْ يُهْلِكُ إِلَّا الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Here again, it is another, and imagine, yeah, okay, this is better. Say, think, if the punishment of God should come to you by surprise or openly. I mean, suddenly something happens. Now, openly. would anyone but the evildoers be destroyed? Now, would anyone but it means who would bestow other. Now, this is better here.
So it's not
Who would
arbitrary,
be,
basically.
who would be destroyed other than
The
the
wrong
wrongdoers? Clear?
here, yeah.
It means wrongdoers will be destroyed, but in the hereafter. In this world, equal treatment. Now, this one. İnna Allah la yehdil kavme zalimin. Let's read the context. Mimmen iftara alallahi kediben. Yeah. Okay. Let's read the last part. Who does more doing wrong? Who does more wrong than those who fabricate lies against Allah to mislead others without any knowledge? Surely, look, these are the people now. What will happen to them? Surely Allah doesn't guide the wrongdoing people. Isn't that clear? Do you want more evidence?
Very clear, alhamdulillah.
No. So is that enough? Inshallah. Very
But
good.
that verse that you brought up, the one with the if you believe in the you came to believe about God and the messengers, and then you disbelieve.
Yeah.
That's an interesting verse, actually.
And also not only God and messenger, no, clear bayinat.
Hmm.
It will mubin. Where
Yes,
was
yeah, this one, yeah, you just passed by the second or third.
No, this one. وَجَاءَهُمُ الْبَيِّنَاتُ.
Right.
It means the clear evidence have already come to them. Ja'a means already come to them here in the past tense. Now here, of course, the translation can only be this way. And after all evidence of the truth has come unto them.
Hmm.
No, no, that is much better. No, after
After.
all the evidence of the truth has come. Because, as I always say, Esad is the most precise. Ve ja'ehum, the past tense means definitely already it is with you. That is why after he's used it. I would say already all evidence of the truth has come unto them. This is beautiful. The universe is out there. Your feelings are with you. Already the evidence is with you. And plus, the prophet is with you, brought the message to you. That is also another obvious evidence. And still you turn back, then God is not going to guide you because you don't deserve it. There is no arbitrary decision. We have to learn how to read the Quran properly. Although, of course, when you read this, that God gives guidance or takes into his mercy whoever he wants. Oh, read the half of the ayah and leave the rest. Let's finish this. Okay, I'll stop here. Sorry, but I'm sorry, time is very late, but let's stop here. Yeah, I mean, now I should stop so that you will read the last verse. There is only one verse to read, inshallah, well, as far as I know.
I thought, yeah, thank you. I thought this was the last verse.
Yeah. Now, kavme zalimi, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين يعذبهم عذابا أليما. This is the last verse.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Inshallah, we will go back to our text. But from time to time, we should make some sort of exercises or exercises, how to read the Quran and understand that how Risale interprets the Imani matters according to Quranic method. So Nursi keeps saying that I have benefited all what I have written from the Quran, from the Quran. How many letters and hundreds of letters says Risale do nothing but the benefited from the Quran, from the Quran. It is not modesty. It is just really reading the Quran carefully. That's it. But for a purpose, in order to explain Iman, belief matters. But we have to pay, while we are reading the Risale, we have to pay which kind of method he has used in order to understand this way from the Quran. So we have to touch, how to say, contact this understanding, seeing the example from the Quran. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah, inshallah. So yeah, we discussed a lot about the methods, inshallah, of the Quran in this session, alhamdulillah. So I'll take some comments, inshallah. Anybody else has anything to say before we close? Inshallah. All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Surah Al-Fatiha.